Welcome, everybody, to another Georgia Archery podcast. I'm your host, Big John Chandler, and this is where we talk about anything and everything to do with archery in the state of Georgia and Georgia archers, wherever they may shoot. And there's old troublemaker himself, pot stirrer, um, wild man, uh, my brother from another mother, uh,
That's
Dwayne Wooden.
me. I'll be that guy. I'll be the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy. It's
We,
okay.
we
Somebody's
gotta
got to be the bad guy.
we gotta make somebody the bad guy, right?
Right. That's right.
What's up, brother?
Man, same old, same old. Been a busy week. I'm trying to get through it. So trying to make it to the end of the week so we can possibly sing some errors somewhere.
Sink some arrows somewhere.
That's right.
I hear you. Well, there's a few things going on. We'll talk about that shortly. I took old Poison Ivy out and gave her a test run. Tried to get some marks. I think your daddy said something about good group, and I was like, "Yeah, that's at 80 yards. That bow's pounding."
No, that's a good looking rig. I
I
like that.
don't I don't know. You know, if I do my job, that sucker got to do his job because it is freaking fire.
No, absolutely.
But I gave her a nickname. That's old Poison Ivy.
Poison ivy. I
Yep.
like it.
Somebody said, "Well, it ain't quite green as what Poison Ivy is." I was like, "No, that sucker been sprayed with Roundup, still coming back to get your ass."
That's right.
So,
That's right. I like it better than the I like that name better than like the go to for a green bow is always like Joker. You know what I mean? Like for some reason that's like the go to.
yeah, the Hook, Joker, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah. Poison ivy is unique. I like that.
yeah. So, yeah, me and her shaked it out. Felt pretty good together. So I may just let the weekend get through so that I can sling some arrows this weekend myself.
There you go.
So, but yeah, gone through this week. Tuesday's my Monday, and it was busy as normal. Shop's been hopping. Did homeschool classes all day today, so I do homeschool on Wednesday, and so that's all.
So how many homeschoolers do you have?
Let's see, 17 in the first class, 14 in the second class, and 10 in the third class.
That's a good group. I like
That's
like
that's beginner, intermediate, and advanced.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
the beginner class, we shoot 10 yards. We use my equipment. The intermediate class can either have their equipment or has moved into their own equipment or use my equipment. But the goal is to shoot a smaller target at 10 yards so you can learn your new equipment that you get. And then we shoot a smaller target. We shrink the target to a 40 centimeter instead of a 60 or 80 centimeter target.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the advanced class shoots at 20 because we're inside, and they must have their own equipment. So, and
Okay.
and then we just work on, then you're doing the little stuff, the tweaks, the twits, the doing whatever. So,
So there's levels to it. That's good.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that they can keep and feel like they're moving forward and progressing.
Okay. Cool.
So that's the plan. And I went through all of that, and I had a couple of lessons this afternoon with individuals. So, and the range was a little lighter than normal because there's a few people that are not in town because they're headed toward the west coast side of the world.
Oh yeah. Oh
They're
yeah.
gonna they're gonna go to the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's get this thing started. So, who shot this past weekend, brother? Did you shoot somewhere this weekend?
I was supposed to.
Okay. Yeah, I knew that was coming. So,
Yeah.
this past weekend, the S3DA had their Eastern Indoor National Championships in Owensboro, Kentucky. And we had 13 archers from Georgia go up to that event. And some did very well. But we did come back with one national champ. Aaron Murdoch finished first place.
Aaron Murdoch.
Yep.
That's awesome. Now what? Now explain to me, Aaron. What class does Aaron shoot?
He is shooting a recurve, Olympic recurve.
Olympic recurve.
Yep.
That's super awesome. Super awesome.
Um, doing a good thing. I was trying to pull it up. Like I said, I didn't type everything in that in that in the show notes because it would take up like 17 pages. But there were 13 kids that went and shot. Aaron shot well, finished overall, but we had some in the top 10. John Carter, uh, head, he finished ninth. Um, Peyton Vroom finished seventh, and then Noah Fuller, he finished seventh. So that was all in the top 10. The rest of them, they were around having a good time, and representing for Georgia.
For
That,
Georgia. There you
that was
go.
pretty cool. So congratulations, Aaron, on that national championship. We also had a young man, Nehemiah Ming, signed for college for the Carson Newman in Tennessee, in Tennessee. So he's going to go to Carson Newman. So
Okay.
while he was up there, he signed his
Well,
commitment paper.
congratulations. Heck yeah.
So that's awesome on that.
Yes, sir.
But that was things that lasted a couple of days, right? And then on Saturday, first Saturday of the month, right?
It is.
North Georgia Traditional Archers up there in Gainesville had 80 shooters.
Man, that is every time we talk about them, it intrigues me that there's that many stick and stringers that, I mean, your wood on wood guys that are still out there grinding.
yeah.
I mean, there's 80 showing up. I mean, that's a standard number.
Yeah,
is
for
80.
sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Someone said the quote I saw on some pictures were "Build it and they will come."
Yeah.
So, build it and they would come. So yeah, that's awesome. Wildwood. I mean, the Augusta had the Wild Outdoor Expo and the Culpeper 3D shoot.
Yep.
So you had a choice to shoot for free, new people walk around, look at it, or you could shoot for some money at the Culpeper money shoot, and they had 70 shooters in that event.
70 shooters.
Yep.
Man. And what I was told now, see, I talked to Jake Martin and Trip Penn on a Sunday, and there was people showing up to that because they had a booth inside the expo, and there was people showing up just going to the expo. They didn't know anything about the archery shoot because the archery shoot was kind of like out back behind the Civic Center.
Yep.
And, there was people showing up, and they'd walk up to the booth and they go, "Oh, we didn't know there was a shoot." They would leave, go get
their bow,
and come back.
Yep.
You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool.
That's the cool part about that type of event is it grows the different people, different aspect, and get them in there and shoot. So, I don't know if you've ever seen a Scrub Buck Bow Club.
That was, I think, last week was the first time I've heard of the club. I've got to check that club out though.
All right, so he's doing this thing, and it was sort of a last minute thing, and he said he's going to do it again, but he had 26 shooters, and he said they had a good time. I saw a video where they bet somebody something shoot the turkey in the head. Well, they did, and they knocked the head off that turkey. So it was pretty funny to watch that,
Well, that's fitting. Turkey season's right around the corner. What we got, I think, like 14, 15 days, something like that.
Something like that. It ain't going to be long.
There you go. So we're going to be knocking off some heads here shortly anyway.
Let's hope so. And on Sunday, Big Creek Archery, I know that you made a appearance without a bow.
I did.
Just to support, which was pretty cool.
I did.
And I was tied up.
15. We had 15 South Georgia archers come from our area with a combination of Coastal Empire and Ogeechee Bowman.
Yep.
15 make the trip up there, and it's only like 2 hours. It's only 2 hours for us, but I just felt like even though I couldn't pull my bow back because of a back injury, and I'm still nursing that. I felt like I needed to go up there and show my face anyways. You know what I mean? Because I like to shake hands. The guy came down and shot my qualifier a couple weeks ago, and I promised him I'd come up there. So I mean, I made the trip. And I'll tell you something. I walked the range.
Yep.
Super cool range. He had it laid out. I mean, the way he had it laid out was super cool. It had some hills. It had some dark targets. Had some targets that was in the sun. I mean, he had pretty much a good mix of everything. So I mean, it was pretty neat.
I didn't hear any complaints. I heard a lot of people say they enjoyed the course and they'd go back. So
Yeah.
He did a good job on that. That's awesome. So they ended up with 84 shooters.
84 shooters for.
ASA qualifier, and it's his first big shooter ever.
That's
Right?
right. Hmm.
He'd had one shoot before that, maybe, or
Hmm.
some warm up stuff, but
Yeah.
that ain't bad numbers.
No, that's really good numbers. And if you didn't attend for whatever reason you didn't attend, because I know there was a couple other shoots, this weekend or whatever. The next one, I encourage everybody to go out there and
Go
shoot.
go 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 check out Big Creek because
Yeah,
everybody's liking it. So
that's right. Everybody's loving that place.
yep. Well, that's cool. That's awesome. That's pretty simple. What everybody did. Let's see that. As we were talking, and as has been going on today, the U.S. Archery had their finals event. I don't know if you've seen some bits and pieces of that, right?
Bits and pieces. I haven't seen much, but I've been working all day. But bits and pieces of it, I've seen. Yeah, they
I
had.
got you.
I think their shoot offs. Is that what they did today? Their shoot offs.
Yeah, they had to do the top 8 or whatever that go in, and then they end up finishing first, second, third. That's pretty cool. It's top 8 overall score. So like in the men's compound division, no matter if you were whatever, if you had a real high score, you were in the top 8 of that. So it's pretty cool how they do
Okay.
that.
Cool.
But I want to talk about how that works. There are, I think, 14, if I'm not mistaken, 14 or 15 places that shoot like regionals.
Okay.
Like you said, what's her name went to Florida and shot.
Audrey.
Audrey shot in Florida.
I think
And
she's
then,
actually in Vegas right now too. By the way.
well, that's a bunch of them there.
Mhm.
And but they shot in Florida, and there were other people who shot in. I know we had some Georgians go up to Virginia and shoot on the last one, but I just want to scroll through. I forgot the total number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 25 or so Georgians. I think it's more than that, but that are in the top 10, 11
Really?
after it's all said and done.
Wow.
So I'm going to run through this really fast just so that we can know. Alex Gilliam, which was he was in the recurve shoot down in Vegas. He qualified 5th overall.
Wow.
Jacob Robinson was 11th, so he was just out of the top 10.
Right.
And there's actually 9 points from 5th to 11th because they're both in the same class in the
That's
recurve
tight.
team.
Yeah, that's tight right there.
Recurve U18. And I'm just gonna mess it up. She finished 3rd overall, and Yashimoshi Yesh Hashmi. Anyway, TATI
Congratulations.
is the last name.
Yeah.
Third overall. That's pretty darn good.
That's stout.
In the compound U21 male, George Riles.
Really?
The 5th, I guess it is. Yep, because it's George's son.
Yeah. So that's not Leo though.
No, that's darn it, I had it until you just asked me.
I'm sorry. Gosh.
Anyway, finished 8th.
That's super.
Overall.
That's super cool.
And then Cameron Ford finished 11th.
Way to go, Cam! I didn't realize he had finished. I seen Cam at Foley, and he was upset that he had shot. Basically, I mean, when you don't shoot as good as you want to, obviously you're upset. But I didn't realize he had finished, one place out of top 10s. But that's still good shooting, man. That's still good.
And then the same thing happens, right? We're looking at it right now. So that was 1177 to 1168 from 8 to 11.
There you go.
I mean, it's that close, right?
That's right.
In the U18, Leo Riles, 2nd place.
Yeah, that kid can straight pound.
He's killing it.
Yeah,
he's got a green Hoyt like mine. His is a 40 with black limbs.
Yeah, he's got the Concept X40. That's right.
Yep. Lawson Elmore was in 10th place.
That's my guy right there. Love that.
He's good kid for sure. He's shooting one of them there Concept decks too.
He is. Yeah, he is. He got it from old Wildcat. Old Wild got him one.
And then he tied with Sam Wilkerson. They both had the same score, so they're tied for 10th place.
Okay.
Um, so that's pretty good. Let's see here. U15 men, James Knight,
Really?
just in their 11th place. That ain't,
That
that,
that kid can shoot too. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It's just cool to watch those young kids come up in there and do their thing, right?
And they always
Um,
pick on me. Every time I shoot with them, they pick on me. They're like, it's almost. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a heck of a shooter. I mean, I can hold my own, but it's almost like they're gunning for me. You know what I mean? Those two, Lawton and
Tim,
Knight. Oh
yeah.
God, yeah, those two kids right there. But
All right.
they're
So
good.
compound U15 women. Oh, Brooke Putnam, 4th place overall.
That she can shoot.
Yes. And Avery Williams, 9th overall in that same class.
Wow.
So compound U13, Melanie Blake, 7th place.
Yeah.
Compound 50 plus, Griff, George Riles. He was
Mister
fifth
Mister.
overall. So
He can still look here when he steps on the line.
you
Hey,
never know.
he can still pound now.
That's right. Fixed pins U13 women was Destiny. Oh heck,
Uh-oh.
Rodriguez, 10th place, and then para division senior women, Sophie Grayson was in 3rd place.
Okay.
So that's and I just picked up the ones that were in the top 10, 11 right there. Because I
Right.
want to, and the weird part about this is it's hard to talk about it per event because, like I said, we had some go to Florida, we had some go to Virginia, and I think somebody even went to Mississippi
Okay.
because it's all, there's multiple places you can shoot this, and it's sort of like a regional, right? And then they take all of those scores or, put them together. So it's
Right.
sort of like the sectionals that we have. How they host
Mm-hmm. NFAA has
Yeah,
so it just makes more sense if you're in the top end of the state, you go to Virginia. If you're on the west end, west
100%.
end, you go to
Yep,
Mississippi,
exactly. Because essentially,
south.
it's yeah, where you're located, you could get closer to one versus the other, right?
Sure. Sure.
And we used to have it in the state of Georgia for the longest time.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was the best thing under. I mean, it was. I would may say, hey, if you're gonna shoot a national U.S. archery event, go to this one because it's in the state. We
Mm-hmm.
haven't had it. We haven't had it in the state for the last few years. But the plan, rumors have it, try to get it back if they can. Somebody,
I'd love to see it back.
Mhm. So,
Not enough
you know,
shooters coming out of state to have one here. I can tell you that.
for sure. But yeah, I mean, and what happens is that some of those people who couldn't make the other events would come to this state,
Right.
and drive a little closer. But who knows? We'll see. I just wanted to make sure we threw that in there because all the scores were in last week, but I hadn't got a chance to sort through them, and I wanted to make sure I had them. And I knew they would all be done by this week because, well, they had the finals as of today.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kyle Douglas won in the compound. What the heck? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know what that was.
I don't either. But so, anything good and interesting you want to talk about in between the break of what we got going on? Tell me something good. You see some. Um, I saw a bunch of posts. I actually shared it somewhere about this darn archery challenge that's going on
Oh
down
yeah.
there at the yo end of the world. I don't know who's hosting that thing.
At that saltwater club
That
down there.
saltwater club, yeah. There's them water babies down there,
Yeah, I actually just got.
flatlanders.
Yeah, I actually just got off the phone with Bill Henneman right before we
Wow,
did this.
man, you should have said, "Hey, you want to get on?"
Well, he was driving. Yeah, he was just
Okay.
he was just leaving the shop, and I was talking with him about doing a, another type of giveaway at the Bow Hunter Challenge. So right now, what I'm doing is so I got it'll be a series of events, right? So I got 5 events, and you'll only have to shoot 3 of the 5. But if you
Okay.
shoot 5, then if you shoot all 5, then you can drop 2 of your scores. You're right.
Yep. Just
So
pick the best 3.
right, exactly. And Then once we get to the August shoot, you'll shoot, and then the best 3 scores do a shoot off for a whole tethered grit line. So you'll get the saddle, the sticks, and the platform. The winner, that's what the winner gets, right?
That's a great set.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very excited about it. I think it should draw some of those hunters out, and that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping some of these hunters bring their bows out of the woods. I mean, excuse me, bring their bows out of the closets.
I hope they don't leave them in the woods.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's still in the tree from last year.
It's still in the tree. But that's what I'm hoping for.
I got some stories on that. I'm not going to talk about it, but stories on that.
Oh, I bet. But so to couple that, what I'm going to do is I got a iron gator that I've been working on all week. It's kind of real similar to the iron buck challenge that Lancaster does, right?
Uh-huh.
So we have an iron gator, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do real similar to what TAC does. Every shoot, you can purchase
10
arrows.
5 shots, yeah.
Right,
okay.
5 arrows to take a shot at the iron gator. For every shot that goes in, right, that hits the center or whatever that lands, your name gets thrown in the hat for a brand new bow. And I'm going to be going up to Wildcat Friday to figure out what bow that is. I haven't made my mind up if I'm going to do an Elite or if I'm going to do a Matthews. We haven't figured out exactly which one we're going to do yet. But that's going to be the giveaway for that. So you basically every event there's an opportunity for you to take a shot at the iron gator. If you make it, your name goes in a hat. However many times you make it, if you buy 10 shots and 10 shots land, then your name goes in the hat 10 times, right?
I got you.
And then you get to draw. Then we'll draw out the hat in August. And the
hunting bows only on that.
Hunting bows only on that. That's
okay.
Right. Yeah.
So one question, because we talked about it.
Okay.
You're going to have your shoot like normal.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Your normal shoot. Guys come in with their tournament rigs, whatever, and have their normal shoot just like you would.
Mm-hmm.
This is a separate piece.
Yep.
So if you want to come at the same time and just enter this part, your score goes for that.
Yes.
But you'll still have the targets out for average Joe,
right?
Tournament archer to still shoot like you always have.
Yeah. So we'll have the same. We'll have all of our classes. All the classes that we normally have. We'll have all those.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm doing with the challenge is just for the hunters, the guys that don't normally come out, right? So, not saying you can't. If you want to bring your target rig out, run through the course with your target rig, and then put it up and bring your hunting bow out, and then run through the course with your hunting rig, you can do that. I don't care. And there's a couple of guys that are going to do that. I know. I've been messaged a couple times this week about, hey, can I shoot twice? Yeah, you can. I don't care if you want to shoot your tournament rig, and then go to your truck and break out your hunting rig and come shoot the hunter challenge. You can do that. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was asking, because a lot of folks were saying, well, is this separate than whatever? Is it bow hunters only? No. So it's essentially, and this is like me and you've talked about, it's to get the bow hunters something to go, oh, this is good for me, so I don't have to compete against those other guys. Mm-hmm. And maybe they walk around and watch the other guys shoot too, because they get to see those guys.
Well, that's the hope. Yeah.
Yeah. And sort of get that feel for whatever. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you a question. Have you heard any new equipment? Have you seen any new? So your hunting bow, you gonna change it, or you just gonna shoot what you got for this year for next year?
So I'm shooting I hunted with the new Exalt.
I know that.
Yeah.
So essentially, you think you're just gonna keep that one then?
Well,
unless something new comes out that just blows your socks off.
Well, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the carbon, the Elite's carbon bow. Even though I can't.
Eon.
The Eon, right?
Yeah.
I shot it a few times. The only thing, personally, so everybody's got a personal preference for what they like and what they hunt with, right?
Yep.
Personally, for me, I like a longer axle to axle. The 33 it just feels a little too small. So
Yep.
when they came, so I've always hunted with a 34, right? A
Mm-hmm.
34 ish bow.
Ish. I like that.
Yeah,
Ish.
34 ish, right? So
Yep.
when they came out with the 35, that was perfect for me, you know. So I got rid of my remedy. I
Oh,
hunted my remedy for years.
it's good. Good shooting bow.
Love that bow.
Yep.
And I got rid of it when they came out with the Exalt, and so that's the bow that I hunted with last year.
I
Now,
got you.
if they come out with another 34 ish bow, then
Okay.
we'll see about it. We'll try it out, but I don't see that happening right now
Yep.
because when it just came out, it just, and don't get me wrong, manufacturers love to riddle off freaking hunting bows. Like every year they come out with a different one, different one, different one.
100%.
But I like the 35. I like the longer axle to axles, and that's just been my bread and butter. So
Yeah. Okay. And what air brand are you shooting? I don't know, so I don't remember. I can't see them.
so I shoot ultra.
There, I see. Don't
Yes.
point at your head. Tell
Yeah.
me about it.
So I shoot ultra. So
So
that
you shooting 25s?
so my with my yeah. So with my
Talent rig.
tournament rig, I shoot 25s. Yeah.
All right, and then you're shooting the 5 mil,
166s.
4 mil.
Yeah. So I hunt
I
with a
got you.
166. Yeah.
All right, you really like those arrows?
You know what? I think I'm going to go to the 204s next year.
There's a lot of folks doing that. That's why I was asking. I remember just
Yeah.
trying to make conversation. We need to talk about some hunting stuff all the time now, because I mean, that's where like we've talked about before.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
I
that's that's where it's all in the hunting stuff right now.
100%. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we want to look tournament archery. We talk about where shooting, who's shooting, and what's shooting, and that's great, right? And it helps everybody know, right? But on top of that, um, we need to talk about other things too. Like having Kaylee last week, right? I think there's a whole lot of folks that didn't know her story.
There's
know?
a ton of folks that didn't know the story.
But they heard it. They heard it. They heard it, and it helped.
I think
We
it
got
helped a lot. I
yeah.
think it helped a lot. I mean, and the fact that people when you talk about tournament archery, let's go down that road. When you talk about tournament archery and women, right, in
Oh yeah.
tournament archery, the only name that really comes to mind is Paige. And
She's
the
at the
reason
forefront of a lot of things.
that's right, because she's at the forefront. She makes herself known. She's created that brand for herself.
That's right.
And a lot of people don't realize Kaylee's been shooting just as long as she has. Like they're literally the
100%.
same age. They're
Yes.
literally the same age. And they've been
Exactly.
shooting the exact amount of time. And Kaylee, well, maybe she's not as decorated, if you want to say that, as Paige, but she has won
I,
a ton of things. Like,
I think I
but
don't.
people just don't
I
realize it.
Yeah. I think that Kaylee changed her direction to straight 3D,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and so she didn't go to all the indoor events, and she didn't stay on the USAT trail.
Hmm.
But and I'll just be honest with you, she probably made really good money doing it just that instead of spending
Oh,
money on the other way. So
heck yeah.
but
The
that
thing
being
about
said, what she say? She started as a hunter, right?
That's right. That's
And
right.
that's that. I mean, I was a hunter. There's no
Hmm.
doubt in my mind. I started in this whole tournament thing way later than I was hunting. You know,
That's right. Hmm.
um, but yeah. So for
I got
me,
kicked out of a tree stand to
yeah,
go shoot a tournament. I mean, that was that
I
my
know
first experience with in a tournament setting, quote unquote tournament setting, was get your butt down here. I'm
we're
like,
going to shoot a target. Yeah,
yeah, I was in a tree, and Dad's like, come on, we're going to shoot a tournament. I'm like, man, I'm screwing broadheads off, screwing field points on, going to shoot a field round. That was my first experience with it.
so we shot ASA at Fort Gordon.
That's right. Hmm.
Okay, so I was at one time had made that you would get a lottery draw to be able to hunt Fort Gordon,
Okay.
and my uncle had been pretty regular with making the draw and making the cut and whatever. So I put in, and I got um I got drawn, and so we were down there, and it's a story that's unreal. I always tell people, I said I shot hogs with 23s. They're like, do what? I was like, oh yeah. So I was set shooting. And matter of fact, Nathan Brooks gave me the 23s.
Really?
This was some Carbon Express
Right.
23 250s or whatever they were. Um, and they had to screw in. I had inserts in them, screw in because that's all I knew, right? And I go down there and shoot in I think it was Bo Novice class
Mm-hmm.
on Saturday. And Saturday night, I shot 2 hogs with that same bow and the 23s. All I did was unscrew the point, screw the turn broadheads on, and shot and shot 2 more. And then we dragged them suckers up, went back, got there, and went shoot on Sunday, finish up the round.
Well, I think that's wherever. I mean, that story basically encompasses the. I mean, the community, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
for
basically,
sure.
all of us have probably, if you walk on the range and if you ask somebody to, how did you get started? They probably have something very similar to
Yep.
say than what you just did. You know what I mean? I think all of us do. I hunted and shot with the same bow, shot tournaments with the same bow for years.
Yeah,
I didn't have a tournament rig, and I have a hunting rig back
that's
then.
right.
I mean, I do now, but back then I didn't have that. You
Oh
know what I
yeah,
mean?
and Ken was same way. Ken, we took him to the first shoot. LJ, when I told that story,
Mhm.
same thing. With his hunting rig and just beat the brake shoes off everybody.
That's right.
But that's the cool part about it. We're all 90% of us are hunters. You know, we're not growing any more hunters. That's the problem.
That is a problem. Yeah.
All right, just in general. I'm not talking to guns, bows, whatever. Just in general, the license sales are lower every year.
Yep. They are. Hmm.
So maybe a few of these folks that are turned around, and I will talk about that. Gabriella, right? She finished third at the ASA.
Hmm.
Well, Gabriella never hunted. Never. She started tournament archery from the get go. We went to an S3DA event, and Jake Martin was, and they sent out a survey that said, "Would you like to learn more about this, that, and other?" And
Right.
she checked hunting on the survey, right? Never triggered with me. Never thought about it.
Right.
So she went down there, and they, showed them how to climb in a stand safely and shoot out of a stand with a bow and so forth. And then the next thing I know is like she's like, "I want to go hunting." And I was like, "Well, you know what? You're on 5 acres, and there's about 2.5 acres of wooded right there behind your house. We can just stick a stand right there and go hunting."
And see what
So
happens. Yeah.
and we did several times. Now she's been busy with this, that, and other, and hadn't been back there hunting, but it's not. It was so it works both ways, right?
Yeah. Well, I got a guy that travels with me that got into archery out the gate, tournament archery, right? So you know, if you've seen me at a shoot, you've probably seen me with Sean, right? So Sean Lane has never hunted with a bow either, right?
Yep.
And he got into archery because of COVID. That's why he got into it. Like he needed something to do, and he was seeing this girl, was now they're his fiance, but he was seeing this girl, and she was from Boston, and her brother was a tournament archer, right?
Yeah.
And she was a shooter, right? And so, anyways, they got to talking one night, and they ended up at Wildcat Archery the next day, and he buys a bow. Well, when he buys a bow, he just buys a bow. He buys a hunting bow. He buys an RX-5 at the time. This was brand new, brand new. The Hoyt just come out with RX-5, so
Yep.
he buys the RX-5, and he shoots that RX-5 till the freaking cams just. I mean, the bearings just wear out. I mean, that's how much he shot that thing,
Yeah.
and and then eventually he bought him a tournament bow, but he never hunted with it. He put long bars on it, and he
Oh
was
yeah. He
you
was
know
shooting it like tournament bow.
right,
Yeah.
he was shooting like a tournament bow. And then this past year, I've tried to get him out there. I'm like, man, get that RX-5 because he still has it, and I'm like, get that RX-5, let's get it shooting, and I'm gonna stick you in a tree. Like
Yeah.
I've got to get you, and he's intrigued by it, you know what I'm saying? And he wants to do it, but I mean, life happens to everybody or whatever the case is. But I'm like, dude, I can put you in a tree and some of the pieces that I hunt, and we can go public. We can hunt. I got a couple leases, and we'll, I'll
Get
get
him
you.
his first deer.
Yeah, I'll get you hooked just like I was. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like
there's no doubt about it. He can get
I was
hooked.
like it was like that. So, but anyways, yeah. But there is two different ways to get into it, and I think the majority of people get into it strictly by hunting. I mean, I think that's where it comes from,
Yeah.
honestly.
Well, that's why I'm talking to this, and we know as well as we've been just looking at numbers and events that go on that draw big crowds. There's nothing but bow hunters, and we want to know why we're not getting that in the tournament archery side of things.
Hmm.
And so we're trying our best to pull that group in. I mean, every archery shop would love to see more bow hunters. I mean, there's no doubt about it, right?
Hmm.
You know, but that's why I asked. As far as my equipment goes, I have a brand new bow coming for hunting because this will be my first year with this brand.
Or
So
to get your RX-9.
no, I did not. You can't have two tournament bows and then turn around and buy a third tournament priced bow to hunt with. Does that make sense?
That makes
Right.
sense. Yeah, that makes.
So I'll have an AX2, which is 32 inches axle axis,
Hmm.
and unlike you, and I'm a big guy, I'm fat man, little bow. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But um, a 35 or 34 never. I mean, a 35 has never worked for me ever. I can't shoot a 35 to hunt with for nothing. I couldn't shoot a 35 to tournament shoot with. For all the years, it was either going to be a really long tournament bow and
Or really short hunt bow.
well, 30, 32, 33. I mean, it's just where I like it.
That's in the middle. Yeah, that's in the
Yeah,
middle. Yeah.
right there. 32, 33 has always been good for me. I do own a PSE super short. It's like 26 inches axle axle.
Mm.
It's a great turkey hunting bow.
Oh, I bet it's good to hunt
Um,
blind with. I'm sure.
I won an iron buck contest at the Redneck Archery Club many years ago with that bow.
Really?
Me and Corey Bryant got down to the end, and I think it was 88 yards, and he dinged and I didn't. So,
Hmm.
um, what a 26-inch bow.
Jesus.
Yeah. So my uncle passed away with cancer, and he was my travel buddy. We went through I think we went to every ASA. He was actually, like I said, when we hunted hogs that night at Augusta, and shooting ASA. So he was intrigued about that. Got into tournament shooting with me. We traveled to Texas. We traveled, the whole circuit the last year before
Right.
because he knew he was sick, and we just wanted to get it done. It was his. Let's do them all. Okay, so we did them all, but it was his bow. He had a 24.5-inch drawing,
No, it fit him.
and it fit him right. So, and I kept that bow, just because of that reason.
That's
But
right.
yeah, that's sentimentals. But anyway, let's move on. So, who's shooting this weekend?
We got a couple people shooting this weekend, actually. So we got shoot. Well, obviously we got Vegas this
The
weekend.
Super Bowl of archery.
We got the Super Bowl this weekend. Now, I haven't heard. Are we having to pay to watch it this year again, like last year? Like, what's the skinny on that? Like, I haven't seen anything. Like, I don't know.
I haven't seen anything about that yet,
Okay.
so I don't know. I know for a fact that or whatever it was that you supposed to had paid for.
Uh-huh.
Tried to re up on my thing the other day, and I just
Oh,
said
mine
nope,
too. Yeah, mine. I said nope.
nope.
Yeah, I think there was a few of us. I got a couple phone calls about it, and they're like, "What is this?" I don't remember. And I had to remind them, like, dude, that was the thing that we
So
had
we
to do
could watch Vegas, yeah.
here. Yeah, and it
And
failed.
then we ended up watching it on YouTube anyway.
I ended up watching it on a guy named
Oh, Facebook.
Tommy Corson
Yep.
out of I think Tommy's from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Just sat there and is live on his Facebook page.
That's right. Yeah. So that's how I watched it. I was like,
Yep. Until they flipped it to YouTube. I
and
remember that.
yeah, that's right. So I think
Yep.
I think he had like somewhere like 3 or 4
Oh my God,
people on
yes.
there watching
It was
off of his
crazy.
Facebook. Yeah.
It was crazy. But
So
I don't know. I haven't seen anything that posts whatever, so I don't know
who's
that.
going to be the viral guy in the stands with Facebook Live doing this right here?
Well, here's the funny part about it is rumor has it they're gonna have to pay to watch it in live, like if you're there.
Really?
Because it's in the Planet Hollywood's wherever. So
Right.
so they're
So
gonna charge.
you get in.
Yeah, they're gonna charge a few dollars to get in. I think because it's a big venue. So I don't know. I mean, just
Wow.
I'm just telling you what the rumors had it, and
Yeah.
I mean, I read some stuff online that people were like shocked, sticker priced, because now they're on the strip and stuff ain't cheap when you're way off the strip.
That's different.
Oh, it's different. I
Yeah.
mean,
I think I'm going to go next year. So next year, that's bucket list for me. I've already made my mind up. I'm going next year.
you're going Lancaster and
I'm gonna do the. I'm gonna do. So this, I made my mind up. I am, and don't y'all, everybody listening, don't laugh at me because I've only been doing this 6 years ish, 7 maybe, something like that.
yep.
I'm gonna make a push to go pro NFAA pro next year. So that's what I want to do. So I'm gonna do the NFAA circuit. So that's basically what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do Lancaster. I'm gonna do indoor nationals. I'm gonna do Vegas. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do Reading, and
National Field.
yeah, field nationals. So I'm gonna try. That's gonna be my. Those will be my big shoots. Now I'll do. Obviously, I'll throw a couple of ASAs in.
I
But
got you.
I think
So
that
just to switch in a different direction.
yeah. So I think
That's
that's
pretty
what I'm
cool.
gonna do next year. I wanna make a push to do that.
Well,
And
I sat here on this podcast multiple times and said I want to go to Reading in 2025 because
mhm.
I'd be 50 years old, and that's not going to happen. So
well,
maybe next year.
let's do it. I've made my mind up. That's gonna be bucket list. Is basically the round robin of
Well, Reading has always been on my bucket list.
yeah.
It really
Okay.
has. But yeah, so that's the Super Bowl of archery, and and it's cool because this time they had the U.S. archery thing. Then they got the Indoor World Archery Series finishing up, and then they'll finish up with Vegas
No, that's Friday.
Friday. Yep.
Friday. That's Friday.
So,
That's right.
yep. So that's pretty cool. It's just that's a whole lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff. So that's the big deal this weekend, anyways.
Yep. So on Saturday, Fort Valley Gun Club down there has a 3D shoot on the schedule.
They do. They
Yep.
do.
Gainesville Archery Club. Oh, Jonathan up there in the crowd got a. I saw a post that says, "Hey, you can shoot here on Friday, whatever on Saturday or something like that." So,
Uh huh.
and so the Gainesville's doing their thing on Saturday. I saw where Owen moved his to Sunday. That's why he's on here twice.
Did he really?
I think it's on Sunday this time. Yeah, I think that's what he posted. And then Rocky Comfort 3D. That's where they had a rattlesnake roundup.
Yep. The rattlesnake roundup.
And then as you were looking at this list and you said there's nothing in South Georgia, he goes, "Oh yeah. Ogeechi's having their youth day."
Yeah, we're doing our youth stuff down here.
So the youth day at Ogeechee Bowman
So
on
youth
Saturday.
day, what we do for youth day is it's completely free. So 100% free. You bring your kids out. We got the equipment. We break all the equipment out and bows, arrows, targets, and we're even giving away free lunch. So we're cooking for the kids. We're grilling for the kids. We're teaching the kids archery. We're trying to get more kids involved in the outdoors.
Hey, like I said, you're not going to grow the sport if you don't bring up the little ones.
So 100% free event is what the Geechee Bowman's putting on this weekend. This is our second year doing it.
Yep.
And I'm stoked about it. Last year, we held it the week we went to Lancaster, so I wasn't able to attend. So this year I'm able to attend, so I'll be there with the crew and Coastal Empire. Of course, Geechee Bowman's kind of like our sister club, and so we're going to support them. We're going to bring out the bells and whistles for the kids this weekend.
All right, that's awesome. And on Sunday we have R&D Archery, who were scheduled for last week, moved it to this week. So,
Mhm.
and that's also daylight savings time changed.
It is.
So the time change, you will spring forward.
That's right. So we get a couple more hours,
No, you lose an hour.
or lose hours. That's right.
You lose an hour. So at 8 o'clock is 9 o'clock, and so forth. And
Yeah.
then, like I said, Owen down there at Outback Archery, from what I saw, he changed the date to the Sunday. So there's lots of places to shoot this weekend. You
There is
know,
no. There's no. So there's no ASA qualifier this weekend. That is.
not that I could see, not this
See that.
weekend.
Okay, so R&D is just a club
Just
shoot.
a regular shoot. Yep,
Outback's a club shoot. Gainesville's a club shoot. And Fort
yep,
Valley's a club
that's
shoot.
right. That's what we got.
hmm Super cool.
Yep. And I want to mention something that's a week later, so that people could talk about it. But the S3DA Outdoor State Championship is the 22nd. So if you're an S3DA shooter or a parent of an S3DA shooter, listen to this, watches this, whatever, be sure to get a kid registered, because they want to definitely know how many they're going to have for that event. So I'm just trying to give a heads up, because there'll be registration usually closes a week ahead of time. So that's the 22nd. So I'm trying to give them a little time. So that's 2 weeks, right?
Where
And
they
then Tyrone, Georgia.
Tyrone.
Yep. But that's one of those things people have to register ahead of time, and I wanted to make sure we talked about it. I do know that the 15th has a few things going on. And we'll talk about them next week, but I just want to try to give the S3DA, because they cut it off ahead of time. We want to make sure they have enough numbers and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, they do. That's
you
right.
know, so yeah, um, I don't know. What do you think? You think that's a good on you know trying to get ahead of the game on that?
Yeah.
Uh, you know,
Yeah, you definitely. So the thing about pre-registration, every time I see a shoot that requires pre-registration, the only thing I can think of is that they whoever's the host club needs to they need to understand exactly what they're getting into, like how many people is going to show up. So
yeah,
they need to prepare for the amount of people that's going to show up. If you planning on going and you don't pre-register and you just show up,
yeah,
let's just say half the people pre-register and then half the people just show up day of, then they're not prepared for the amount of people that's going to
people.
show up.
That's right.
So if you can pre-register, if there is an event and it requires a pre-registration or it's asking for pre-registration, it's in not just your best interest, but the best interest of
Of
the
the club,
host.
to
Right.
make it the best shoot they can.
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, we're talking about that, but I mean, same thing happens with the Reinhardt 100. They you can register for it for the next weekend, and the spring turkey shoot is open for the GBAA. You can go to their webpage and pre-register for those events.
Yeah, please
So
do it.
we're just trying to get everybody, to go ahead. If you're going to shoot that event, just go on and fill out the form and tell everybody you're coming, so that they can get a numbers idea.
That's right.
So
And the spring turkey for the GBAA, I
casual,
it's casual. It's going to be casual this year. It's going to be a 1-day event this year. It's not a 2-day like it normally is, right?
yep,
And just because, and this is one of the things that I feel like a lot of people get thrown off by the GBAA and the classes. It's a 45. If you shoot an ASA class, right?
yep. Hmm.
You're gonna shoot this. It's the same distance. They just call it something different.
Oh yeah,
That's
they got different names.
that is it.
Almost the exact same distance on on
Hey,
most all of
shooters,
them.
it's the same rules. Like as
Yep.
far as the rules concerned,
Calling 12s, the whole 9 yards.
whole 9 yards is the
Yep.
same. The equipment's the same. The scoring is the same. Everything's the same. They just the class. They just call it different. They just call it something different. That's it.
And on top of that, you can shoot both 3D shoots for $15 membership fee.
That's right. $15 membership fee,
So
and have an opportunity to win a pretty cool ass belt buckle, if you ask me.
For the adults, got the new cool ones, and still, I mean, I got a green one, a red one, and a black one of the other ones, the
That's right.
originals. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so yeah, that's the thing is the GBAA, and it's 50% payback, right? So essentially,
Hmm.
if you want the belt buckle, you just throw your money back to pay for the belt buckle.
Hmm.
You get your money, and if you want the belt buckle, also you just pay for it. That's the way it is in the GBAA for the for
Yeah,
the for the 3D events.
for the 3D events. That's
Yep.
right. Yeah. Hmm.
But yes, and we changed that for that reason, right? There was the 3D was getting nobody, and it was we would look at other 3D places that would have 40, 50, 60, 80 people.
That's right.
And the GBAA goes, well, why are we not getting that group? I said, well, first, your distances and classes just don't make sense to people.
Yeah, they don't line up. That's right.
And second of all, everybody likes money, right?
Everybody likes
So a lot of these local shoots are paying 50% payback. So
money.
um, and then so if we did that, it would work the same, and that's what we've tried to do. And I honestly see that the numbers have moved. I mean, it has not. Now it didn't jump to 100 people, but
No.
it's moved. It's moved from 12.
Yeah, it has. It's moved a needle. So last year when I was going to host the spring turkey and was unable to, at the time that I had to cancel it because of all that rain we got, I had right at 60 shooters.
Yeah, 60 pre-registered shooters. Yep. So
And 60 shooters in South Georgia is good. I mean, I
yeah.
hate to say it. I mean, people just don't travel down south to shoot anymore like they used to.
Oh
So
yeah,
60 shooters for anything down here,
for
and
sure.
we're ecstatic about it.
Yep.
So,
That's. I mean, and that's why we're talking what we're talking and trying to get clubs doing what they're doing, and moving the bow hunter needle, that kind of stuff.
yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see that class get to where it was 20 years ago because bow hunter freestyle was the class.
Still,
Like
yeah,
that was the
for
class.
sure, for sure.
Shoot, you'd show up and there'd be double the amount of bow hunter freestyle shooters than
Than
there.
anybody else.
Yeah, yeah. So
So if you like any of this information, be sure to subscribe to your favorite podcast app and find us on there and subscribe and like and share this information. If you didn't see your information on here, you want us to share some information on our podcast, you can send me an email at georgiaarchery@gmail.com. You can find all of these dates and more listed on the web page under the calendar tab. The web page is www.georgiaarchery.com. That is spelled out georgiaarchery.com. And we are on every social media. So Snapchats, X, Twitter, TikToks, Facebook, Instagrams. We got it all. So it's at Georgia Archery on 99.9% of those. Please share and like and tell everybody about it. So that's the only way we can grow is if you do. And we're also on YouTube. This video goes out on YouTube probably tomorrow afternoon. So we filmed this on Wednesday, and it usually goes out by Thursday afternoon. And so you can follow this video on YouTube. Please, subscribe and like and comment. Comment below. Make some comments. If you want to see something, talk about something, put a comment on it underneath, and we read the comments and make sure that you. So we can talk about anything. We can talk about arrows. We can talk about
the algorithm also. So
yeah, it definitely helps us with the algorithm for real. I think we had a great podcast last week with Kaylee on there, and
I enjoyed it. I always enjoy picking the pros' brains.
Yeah.
That's the part that I enjoy.
So we're planning on doing more of that. One thing we did here in the comments were live broadcast.
Okay.
Did you not hear that? Have you not heard that?
Yes, I have been. I've
right.
been asked multiple times why we don't go live anymore.
All right. Well, we had to get the bugs worked out, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And we've got them worked out. But we may start doing, and I'm not, Georgia Archery, because you never know what knucklehead down there in the flat side of the water baby doing down there.
That's right. Salt water, baby.
Yeah, you don't never know what he might be doing down there. Or when we get Robbie get back rolling again. I mean, now we just gonna have a crowd, you know.
That'd be awesome.
But the plan is probably to do one once a month
Okay.
to start with,
Mm-hmm.
like the last weekend of the month. So you heard it here first, right?
There you go.
26th.
26th.
26th. All right. 26th live broadcast.
Man, that's going to be the day before we leave to go to
Yes.
Benning.
Yes.
So we're talking. I'm going to have my bags packed,
Yep.
ready to walk out the door to go to Fort Benning to the second ASA National of the year.
Yep.
We're going to be live.
That's right. That's the plan.
I'm here for it.
All right. I'm glad you're here for it. You gonna have pants on this time?
I'll have pants on this time.
Yeah, and so rumor has it that Big John may make an appearance at an ASA event. Speaking of that one,
man, I would love to see that.
So if it all works out, that's the plan. So yeah, I think that's about it. So
yeah, man,
you got anything else you want to add?
That's it.
All right.
I appreciate you dragging me on this thing every Wednesday. I'm having
yeah, it's fun. It's just good to have somebody to play off of. You know,
That's
we
right.
talk about this, talk about that, and talk about a whole lot of nothing. But let's see if we can get this right this time. Until next time, I'm Big John.
I'm the saltwater baby.
And we'll see you.